Here we are, another goon to add to the roster. Truly magnificent. In all fairness, though, I respect that the goons in this game are distinguishable from each other. Like, they don't have the same face and hat, but just with a different colored shirt. Also, they have actual abilities instead of just like a lame gun. The Brainfreezer Goon is a goon of Brainfreezer, which his character will get to eventually. The main thing to note about the Brainfreezer Goon is the explosive ability they have. Get it? Because they have an ability, it's literally called the explosive, forget it. This goon throws explosive ice cream at people. Yeah. And the second ability the Brainfreezer Goon has is Sharpshoot, which is also alluding to the exploding ice cream. This is the first of two Brainfreezer minions on the list, and the other one is way cooler, but that's just me, hyping it up. Let's move on to a very different character. By very different, I meant a character who is exactly the same, just a goon for a different villain. The Voyage Goon has the same exact situation as the Brainfreezer Goon. It has the explosive ability, as it should, considering bomb is in his boss's name. Also the sharpshoot ability, which is just him being able to aim his bombs at people. My reasoning for ranking the Voyage Goon over the Brainfreezer Goon is very simple. Voyage is an actual character in the Incredibles universe. Sure, he didn't have goons per se, but at least he was in an Incredibles movie, right? Brainfreezer was made up for this game as a throwaway crime wave boss. You fight Brainfreezer goons in the crime wave only. The Voyage goons, you fight them in a crime wave and the Golden Years level, where you play as Golden Age, Mr. Incredible, and Buddy. I think I've made my point here. What's this? The first member of the Incredibles on this list? A very primitive version of one, and not one anyone would ever use, but here he is. It's the minifigure Mr. Incredible. If you haven't noticed, the Mr. Incredible in this game he's a beefy fellow. I mean, he's a thick boy. That torso isn't even a real Lego piece, I would know. But this here is the version of Mr. Incredible that's based on the official Lego figure of him, featured in one of the three Incredibles 2 Lego sets, with the regular torso. With the regular torso, he sacrifices an integral ability exclusive to all other Mr. Incredibles, but we'll get to that. Besides that very important ability that he now lacks, there are two other abilities. The first one is obvious, which is super strength. He can pull orange handles and break glowing walls. The other one is a derivative of the strength ability, and I'm surprised it's not just plopped in as part of the strength ability. It's called Bulldoze. It's a rare ability only a few have. Basically, it works like this. If a character with Bulldoze is running, they can just break through an object instead of having to stop and punch it to break it. This also applies to enemies and glowing walls. It's pretty handy if you're trying to get through enemies or the level fast. Here we have the true villain of Incredibles 2, and also the reason why it was not as good as the first movie. Evelyn Deavor. First off, I think they did a pretty good job with translating her to Lego form. I know I knocked this game for how Rick Dicker and Mirage looked, and they looked, nothing like the movie counterparts, but here, they did okay. Anyway, Evelyn Deavor here has two abilities in this game. The first, the one we've seen before, and also comes as no surprise, is the hacker ability. I mean, her whole thing is that she hacked her way to the top, kinda. And she also was the sibling of a successful businessman. But the other ability is something we haven't seen before, and also an ability not new to LEGO games, and in fact was seen first in LEGO Indiana Jones. It's the repair ability. The repair ability has changed a little bit since LEGO Indiana Jones, though. Back in LEGO Indiana Jones, the repairable objects were broken machines ejecting smoke. In most LEGO games, with the repair ability since then, repairable machines are a lot easier to detect, including LEGO Incredibles. Now repairable machines have this pulsating blue on them, so if you get someone like Evelyn Deavor to fix it, you're good to go. It's WALL-E time, ladies and gentlemen. Yet another Pixar build character that we are covering. WALL-E's placement in the open world is very fitting, I'd say. Probably one of the best in the game. His Pixar build is the by and large transportation truck, and it's plopped right in a dirt field in the industrial district. To unlock the red brick for this Pixar build, you have to use one of Wally's abilities. Oh, but what are these two abilities, one of which we have not covered yet in the series? You are asking, right? With good reason. Well, to get the red brick, you'll have to use the laser ability that Wally possesses. And the laser is like the thing that he uses to cut scrap metal in the movie. The red brick is a 10-time stud, so it's definitely worth the trouble. His other ability, new to this series, is dig. Basically, you see patches of dirt on the ground, and those with the dig ability, such as Wally, can dig. They can dig it. They can dig the patches of dirt to reveal a revelation. Let's go with that. Yes, this little weirdo. You probably remember this guy if you've seen Incredibles 2. He's one of the several supers that was a part of Winston Deavor's comeback gang, as I call them, who just fell victim to the brainwashing of Evelyn Deavor. Screech here has two abilities. Both are clear and plain to see. First, his wings give him the ability of flight, so with him you can get around the open world a lot faster. Second, his name is literally Screech, which according to Google means to give a loud, harsh, piercing cry, so I guess it would make sense for him to have the sonar ability too. In the house party level, Screech, along with other supers of the comeback gang, all played a part in trying to prevent the kids from leaving the house. And you have to pretty much deal with every single one of them. Screech in this level basically served as a barrier from you and the door, so you have to complete all the other objectives first. Here is, in my opinion, the best bizarre character in the game. Officially, Lightning McQueen has only one ability, but he basically has two. His official ability is Illuminate, which we all know by now is useless. His second unofficial ability is Speed. He is Speed after all. Super Speed is an ability in this game, but that's exclusive to one character. I'm sure you all know who. And it requires being able to use a large hamster wheel, which Lightning McQueen is too big for, so he's not listed as a super speed character when he most obviously is. Lightning McQueen is practically made for the open world since he is a car, and I used him for pretty much all of the land races in the open world, and he got all of them done with like ease. I actually enjoy Lightning McQueen's controls, and I don't say that for many characters in this game. Trust me. All in all, a great character to play as in this game, but the reason why he's this low on the list is because he's only useful for the land races and just traveling in the open world in general. It's nice, but not enough to get you up in the top ranks, you know? Another instance where we have two non-Incredibles characters back to back. I'm going to preface this segment by saying I haven't seen The Good Dinosaur. Okay, I know Spot is kind of the kid from that movie, and he's like a cave boy or something, but that's it. I don't care enough about good dinosaurs to watch the movie. I already know bad dinosaurs are more fun to watch, and the Jurassic Park franchise already exists, you know? So anyway, Spot's Pixar build is in Outer Municiberg, and it's some kind of giant shit. I haven't watched the movie, so I'm sure it's Spot's hut or something. Anyway, Spot is the first character on this list with 3 abilities. That's right, and they're only going to go up from here, folks. However, all 3 of these abilities are ones we've seen. First, there's Agility, which we've seen from countless characters already. Second, there's Crawl Hatch, which we've seen from the likes of like Miguel. And finally, there's Dig, something we've seen from Wally. All 3 abilities make sense for Spot, even with my limited knowledge on the character. I mean, he's a cave boy, so like I guess, yeah, all of those cave people do, I assume. I mean, I wasn't there, but I'm pretty sure. Like, really? A robot? Not even a cool name for him or anything? They simply just list him as robot in the roster. It astonishes me that this is allowed to happen. What do I know? What do I know? As much as I hate to admit it, the robot has a few abilities, one of which we haven't seen yet. First, let's quickly go over the 2 abilities the robot has that we have seen. First, Sharpshoot. He shoots electric balls, or whatever those are, out of his hands. Second is the Hacker ability, which I guess I can understand. But the third and new ability is the Electricity ability. Those with the electricity ability emit a stream of electricity that can be used to power these generators, and those make something happen. My official analysis of the robot is that he's stupid. He shouldn't be in the game, but he's pretty useful, and I hate him for it. Also, every character has a taunt in which they do a certain action when you tap the action button. The robot starts like bopping super hard, so okay, I guess I can respect him for that. Everyone loves a good bop. Never interrupt a man when he's bopping.
With a little bit of yeah.
Wow, an ice-related super in the Incredibles universe. I'd totally bet he won't be overshadowed by another ice-related super anytime soon. Who am I kidding? You can't be overshadowed if no one knows who you are to begin with. Here's another random super whose powers are, well, ice-based. This guy is basically what you'd expect from a super with ice powers. First, he can extinguish fires. Second, he can shoot ice balls with sharpshoot. But the last ability is actually new to the series, and it sucks I have to introduce this ability in this segment as opposed to another better ice-powered super, and I'm sure you all know who I'm talking about. Anyway, throughout the campaign, there are little ice rocks you can interact with as an ice character. By shooting ice at it, you can construct little ice structures that will help you advance in the level. This is pretty much only used in the levels and not in the open world. Although it's nice Icebreaker can do this, there's a much more iconic character that can do everything Icebreaker can, plus more.